The World Economic Forum has announced that it has recruited hundreds of thousands of information warriors to control the internet, policing social media and forums for misinformation and conspiracy content, which will then be systematically shut down. According to Klaus Schwab's WEF, misinformation on the internet is an infodemic that is potentially deadly and requires a cure. The definition of misinformation, according to the WEF, is any content on the internet that they disagree with. This means the WEF's hundreds of thousands of information warriors will be engaged in the act of shutting down dissent against the globalist elite. Klaus Schwab warned us last month that whoever controls AI will control the future, and the Davos elites have wasted no time in laying the groundwork to enslave humanity. Conspiracy forums and YouTube comment sections are being targeted by the WEF's information warriors, who pretend to be ordinary users of the platform, but are actually working to disrupt proceedings and covertly seek support for the ideology of Klaus Schwab's WEF. Announcing the news on a WEF podcast, UN Communications Director Melissa Fleming said,
"So far we've recruited 110,000 information volunteers. And we equip these information volunteers with the kind of knowledge about how misinformation spreads, and ask them to serve as kind of digital first responders in those spaces where misinformation travels."
The WEF is subliminally influencing the masses in order to push their narratives onto the people. Also on the podcast, mainstream journalist Mark Little sets out potential solutions to the so-called infodemic. Little worked for Twitter and founded Storyful, a social media news agency closely linked to the fact-checking program. He has now launched Kinzen, a company which is threatening to use AI to censor online content on behalf of the elites.
I've started to see very much the spread of misinformation as a global health crisis. Because only when we think about misinformation in the same way we think about the spread of the coronavirus, in a similar way, that misinformation is that serious a threat to our society. Misinformation now is happening within our friends and families. So we have to find strategies to, first of all, recognize it. And secondly, as active citizens, just like we wear masks to protect others, we need to be the good citizen, the active vector fighting back in our daily lives.
The WEF are determined to control the internet, and they have had a major hand in pushing Senate Bill 686, also known as the TikTok ban bill, which gives American citizens 20 years in prison for spreading so-called disinformation. This is the most dangerous bill since the Patriot Act in 2001, and we made a whole video exposing how it will allow the globalist elite to colonize America and the free world. The link is under this video in case you haven't seen it. Raising awareness about this bill and ensuring it's rejected is of the utmost importance. So far, we the people have done a great job at exposing the evils inside the bill, but we can't rest on our laurels. The globalist elite are attacking us on numerous fronts. The World Economic Forum is not the only globalist organization setting its sights on controlling the narrative on social media by unleashing hundreds of thousands of information warriors.